What's going on, Vault Hunters? We in here. So, I'm absolutely having a blast on Borderlands 3 lately, especially with Amara. Now, I'm gonna get this out of the way first. I don't have everything that I want. I don't have every piece of gear. I don't have every weapon that I want on this build, but this build, oh my god, has been doing work for me. So I've been having so much fun, man. Like, I still love Zane, I still love Mose. Flak has been my favorite for a long time, but I'm telling you right now, Amara is slowly becoming my favorite Vault Hunter in this game. She's so good, dude. She's so good. So I wanted to make this video real quick, show you guys my build, level 57 True Vault Hunter mode, and show you the weapons that I'm rolling with, man. Just have some fun with it. I am thinking about possibly making a second YouTube channel. I have been thinking about it for a while, but I'm more so thinking about it now just because I know a lot of the people that are subscribed to my main channel, they only watch me for Call of Duty. So maybe I'll just make my second channel for everybody who likes to watch everything that I put out. And for people that just watch me for Borderlands 3, you can just come over there and watch me over there. But anyways, as you can see, we are Mayhem 2. I usually only roll Mayhem 4, Mayhem 2. If you're wondering if this build could do work on Mayhem 4, absolutely. I prefer either Mayhem 2, like I said, or Mayhem 4. Mayhem 4, the dudes get really, spongy, right? So, for the most part, like, I'll just roll on Mayhem 2 unless I'm specifically going for Mayhem 4 legendaries. But we're going to start with the orange tree, the Fist of the Elements. Show you guys my build right here on this tree. So we got 4 to 5 in Anima. Amara's status effect deals increased damage over time and have increased duration. Her action skill status effect deals further increased damage. So I'm 4 to 5 in that. It's a really good skill. Steady hands. I'm 2 and a 3 in that. Amara gains increased weapon handling and accuracy. It's a pretty good skill. I think I had 1 out of 3 in that, and then I think I had 1 point left over, so I just scattered it in there. But yeah, that is a really good skill. Infusion, I have 2 out of 5 in that. Convert a portion of damage dealt by Amara's weapons into her action skill element. 2 out of 5 in Wildfire. Whenever Amara applies status effect to an enemy, it has the chance to spread to nearby enemies. That's a really good skill to spec into as well. So for Tempest, I'm 5 out of 5 in that. Amara deals increased elemental damage. Shock damage is further increased. And you're going to see in a minute when I show you some of the weapons that I'm rolling. Actually, probably just one right now because I had to stick a bunch of stuff in the vault. But you're going to see why I have that maxed out, man. That's a damn good skill right there. So I'm spec'd into Dread as well. Amara's gun damage is increased for a few seconds after an enemy is grasped. Whenever any player kills a grasped enemy, their current weapon is instantly reloaded. Very good skill to spec into. So Indiscriminate, I am 2 out of 3 in that. Amara's bullets that damage enemies have a chance to ricochet and deal decreased damage to other nearby enemies. Ricochet, chance, and damage are increased if the target is currently affected by phase, grasp, or stillness of mind. Damn good skill. I'm 2 out of 3 in that. I also spec'd into Deep Well. Amara gains increased magazine size with elemental weapons. When you're rocking Amara, unless you're going for like an all-out melee build, like you're trying to get your Krieg on with Amara, elemental weapons is what you want to be looking for, man. Catharsis. So I'm 1 out of 3 in that. Whenever Amara triggers an elemental effect on an enemy, when that enemy dies, the enemy explodes, dealing her attuned element damage along with any other element that is currently inflicted upon that enemy. This skill has a short cooldown. Damn good skill as well too. Wish I had a few more skill points. I definitely have something more in there, but I am 1 out of 3 in that. We have Conflux. Whenever Amara applies a status effect to an enemy, she gains a chance to randomly electrocute, ignite, or melt that enemy. Damn good skill. I'm 2 out of 5 in that. And Sustainment, I am 2 out of 5 in that. Amara gains lifesteal whenever she deals elemental damage with her weapons, man. Like, this skill tree right here, like, it'd be nice if we were like even if we could hit like level 61. Maybe when Borderlands drops Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, we'll be back to like level 61 like we were in Borderlands 2. And if so, I'm definitely throwing a few more skills into this tree, man. This tree is absolutely amazing. So for my action skill, I'm in Soulfire. converts Amara's action skill to incendiary damage. Is really good when you're up against just, dudes with flesh, obviously. Allure, Amara's action skill creates a singularity that pulls in enemies. This is a fantastic add-on to your action skill. It's beautiful, man. You got a whole mob of enemies, especially for a takedown of Malawan. Oh, it's so good, man. When you got a group of enemies, you call in your phase grasp, your phase lock. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. You can just like lock them all. You can get them all together, man, and then just use whatever you're using. Just take a whole heap of bitches out. And I'm also expected into ties that bind. Amara summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground and locks the targeted enemy in place for a few seconds. Enemies near the grasp target are linked, and any damage dealt to a linked target is shared between all other linked targets. Again, fantastic tree right here. This just does so much work, man, especially if you're trying to do the raid, man. If you're trying to do Malawan takedown, this right here, absolutely fantastic, man. This is what you want to be running. I've been using it. Yes, I have been using it in Mayhem 4, and it just does so much work, man. So I tried using some other things. Phase Grasp for me right now seems to be working the best. So I'm absolutely loving Phase Grasp. Now, I do love the slam and all that too, but Phase Grasp is just so good, man. I loved Maya back in Borderlands 2. And Phase Lock was her action skill, man, and it was beautiful. So let's head over to the green tree, the Brawl tree. So I'm 1 out of 5 in Route to Rise. You gain increased max health, right? That's not a huge deal to me. I don't know. You could mess around with that if you want. This is not a perfect build, right? Like, I would like to, change a few things. I just been experimenting, and I just found this build to be absolutely on point, but it, like, that goes with it. Like, there definitely could be improvements, guys. So if you see something here that you think maybe I could shed a couple of points here and put it into that, by all means, drop it in the comment section. I'd love to hear it, man. I'm for any idea to make this build right here even more lethal, man. But this build does so much work. Again, I'm gonna shut up. So I'm 3 out of 3 in personal space. Amara's weapon shots deal bonus damage based on the distance to her target. The closer the target, the greater the bonus. So this is really good if you're like using a shotgun. I'm absolutely loving the Anarchy shotgun right now. The Lob shotgun, the Incursion. There's a bunch of new shotguns with the DLC. The closer you get, you got the phase lock, walk right up. Oh my god, you're doing so much damage, so much point blank range, right? Plus your phase grasp is doing all the damage to everybody around them as well too. It is just absolutely amazing, man. Clarity, I'm 2 out of 5. Amara constantly regenerates health. The lower her health, the more powerful the regeneration. After using your action skill, the bonus is doubled for a few seconds. So you constantly want to be phase grasping, man. You know what I mean? But that goes without saying with any Vault Hunter, man, in any Borderlands. You know what I mean? Helping Hand. I'm 3 out of 5 for a few seconds after using her action skill. Amara's arms remain active and grant damage reduction. This skill right here is so clutch for Malawan takedown. It really is. If I had a few more points too, I definitely would max that out. And I'm currently looking for a really good class mod that will help me get a few more points into that as well, because it really does help, man. But I also have a shield that helps too. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Samsara, I'm 3 out of 3 in that. Whenever Amara deals damage to an enemy with her action skill, she adds a stack of Samsara. For every stack of Samsara, Amara gains increased gun damage and health regeneration for a few seconds. Stacks decay after a few seconds. Beautiful perk, man. You definitely want to spec into that. Arms deal, I'm 2 out of 5. Amara deals increased splash damage and takes reduced splash damage. So this was really good, goes without saying for the defense of it, right? But for the offense, depending on the gun that you're using, if it's like a shotgun or something, or you're using a rocket launcher, whatever, you get that increased splash damage. Your grenade does a little bit more damage, depending on the grenade that you're using, obviously, you know what I mean? So I'm 2 out of 3 in mindfulness. Whenever Amara takes damage, she gains a stack of mindfulness. For every stack of mindfulness, Amara gains improved shield regeneration, delay, and movement speeds. Stacks decay after a few seconds. Again, another beautiful perk. 2 out of 3 in that. 1 out of 3 in vigor. Kill skill. Killing an enemy with Amara's action skill grants all allies increased movement speed for a few seconds. This is a really good perk, especially if you're partied up with your homies. And I'm 4 out of 5 in 1 with nature. Amara gains increased max health and elemental damage resistance to her action skill element. A damn good perk. So I almost have that one maxed out. I am spec'd into do unto others. Whenever an enemy damages Amara, she automatically throws an energy orb back at them, dealing action skill elemental damage. And this skill has a short cooldown. Damn good skill as well too. Of course I spec'd in that. I'm 1 out of 5 in Job Cross. Whenever Amara deals melee damage to an enemy, she gains increased action skill damage and increased gun damage for a few seconds. Another great skill, another one that I would spec into more. And when I respec after this, you know, I'm going to keep a lot of the skills the same, right? But I'm going for that maximized build, you know, going for all out damage, but have some defense as well too. I'm probably going to I'm probably going to max that out or close to it, right? This is a damn good skill. And I'm spec'd into Guardian Angel. This one goes without saying. This is so clutch if you're soloing the takedown of Malawan, man, because you can revive yourself. But it does have a 120-second cooldown, though, so you can't just revive yourself constantly. You know what I mean? There's a cooldown there. But it's so clutch, man. Like if you're on the boss and there's no ads and you just got down and you have this charged up, oh, it's so clutch. There was a few times where if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have beaten the final boss. You know, because he'll shoot out some cheesy attack. You know what I mean, and take me out. And then I'm like, no ads, I can't get the res, and I'm like, ah, damn, man. But because of that skill right there, I was able to stay up, and I got the win, baby. We knocked it out. So we're gonna move over to the blue tree, the mystical assault tree. This is the one that I've least spec'd in. Unfortunately, because this is a damn good tree as well too, man. So do harm. I'm 3 out of 5, but that's also because of my class mod. Killing the enemy grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skills consumes all rush stacks. For every stack of rush consumed, Amara's action skill damage is temporarily increased. Damn good skill. 1 out of 3 in fast hands. Amara's reload speed, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed are improved. Another damn good skill. There's just other ones that kind of take priority with this build for me, but that's a damn good skill as well too. Violent Tapestry, 2 out of 5 in that. Applying a status effect grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush stacks. For every stack of rush consumed, Amara's status effect chance is temporarily increased. So Restless, I'm 3 out of 5. Also, you can see it's because of my class mod, but this is just where you gain increased action skill cooldown rate. Damn good skill to spec into. Transcend, 1 out of 3 in that. Amara gains increased accuracy and critical hit damage for a few seconds after activating her action skill. You're always going with the phase grasp or whatever you're using. You know what I mean? Damn good skill to spec into. Again, I would have that maxed out, but just trying to allocate points around, man. I'm trying to keep my maximum damage up as well as my defense, get that health regeneration in there and all that. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, not enough points right now. Unfortunately, but we'll get that up eventually. And we are expected 1 point into Alacrity. Alacrity. I don't even know how you pronounce that, man. But anyways, I'm 1 out of 5 in that. And that increases your reload speed for every stack of rush. Honestly, when I go to respec, it is a good skill, but I'll probably take that point out and I'll probably put it in this Transcend or one of the other skills that I was talking about before. But this build here, oh my god, it's been doing so much work for me, man. So I'm going to show you guys the weapons that I'm currently using, and then I'll show you guys me just messing some dudes up real quick, and you guys can see what I got going on over here. Alright, so keep in mind that this just was recently nerfed. This has been my go-to gun for shields. Unfortunately, it's not anointed. Usually if a gun is not anointed, I don't even look at them anymore, unless I'm picking them up to sell them. This gun still puts in work, but it's definitely not at the level that it was. But I do have that fast fire rate on this one. So this one still puts in work. But this is my baby right here, man. This hot damn serial killer. You get this legendary Children of the Vault auto rifle from the new DLC Guns, Love, and Tentacles. Oh my god, it's so good. As you see, it's anointed. So this gun here, killing an enemy grants increased damage, fire rate, and reduces heat per shot cost, right? And then it stacks 3 times. So anybody that plays Destiny, this kind of will remind you of the Breakneck, right? Where you get the Onslaught with your Rampage. Kind of like the same principle, same sort of deal. And it just rapes, man. Like Mayhem 4 even, it's a fire weapon going up against dudes with shock shields, and I still have no problem taking them bitches out, man. Especially if I have the 3 stacks. And then this one's anointed where consecutive hits increase weapon damage by 1% per hit. But if you miss, it removes all the bonuses. It's just damn good gun, man. I'm telling you, go look for this gun in Guns, Love, and Tentacles. I don't know if anybody has it as a specific drop, but this gun is absolutely amazing, man. It drops for me all the time up in there. Go farm Tom and Zam, and I guarantee a couple runs you'll have this drop for you. You might not have one as good as this drop for you, but you'll have it drop. The Redistributor, a damn good Hyperion SMG. You get this from the raid, from Takedown and Malawan. This one's Corrosion. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get an anointed one yet, especially one that's anointed for my Amara. But it's a damn good gun, man. You get that plus 10% critical hit damage as well, too. Every 7th shot is amped, and amped shots chained to nearby enemies. It is absolutely amazing. Plus 33% weapon damage. And the Anarchy, man. Oh, my God. This and the Serial Killer, these are 2 guns from Guns, Love, and Tentacles, man. DLC 2 for Borderlands 3. This gun is absolutely amazing, man. It works like Anarchy does for Gage back in Borderlands 2. It is crazy, man. The main thing with this gun, you don't want to be reloading unless you run out of ammo and it forces reload. But every kill and every time you have a forced reload, like you completely waste your ammo, your mag, and the gun has to reload, you're gaining a stack of Anarchy, which grants 30% damage, but it reduces accuracy. You don't really notice it, man, and it stacks up to 10 times. So potentially you could walk around with this gun doing an extra 300% damage. It absolutely slaps. I highly suggest getting this in every burn, anointed for every character, because you're going. Just thank me later, man. Go and farm this gun. You get it from the DLC 2. Again, not sure about specific drops for this gun. Just go farm Tom and Zam, or just farm whoever in there, man. Go farm Aista, the Invincible. Farm him. He'll probably drop it for you as well. I get it to drop for me a lot up in there, especially if you're in Mayhem mode. You're Mayhem 2, Mayhem 3, and Mayhem 4. You'll go play for an hour. You'll get this to drop for you a bunch of times. So here I'm using the stopgap, the hair stopgap. This is a pretty good shield, man. On shield break, you become immune to any damage taken for 5 seconds. Plus 40% capacity, minus 10% max health. You don't really notice that, though, especially on Amara. I'm regenning health and all that. And then you get that plus 10% movement speed when the shield is depleted. Helps you to get out of there, you know what I mean? It's getting hairy. Your shield just got taken out. You get that extra 10% movement speed, so you can kind of try to run and try to find a safe spot. On action skill and movement speed is increased by 5% for a short time. So again, my movement speed, if my shield just broke and I just use my action skill, my movement speed is increased by 15%, so that really helps. I'm using the Hunter Seeker. Now this grenade is not very good. This one is anointed one. It does radiation. It's not a very good grenade, but the reason why I'm using this one, especially for Mayhem 4, is on grenade thrown, because it's anointed. Weapon, grenade, and action skill damage are increased by 25% for 6 seconds. So it might not seem like a huge deal, but trust me, it helps, man. Especially if I got the 10 stacks on my Rampage, or I got my 3 stacks on my Serial Killer. I'll chuck this, and then I get that extra damage on my Anarchy or my Serial Killer, right? My Anarchy's already doing crazy damage, and then it has the plus 300% damage. And then I get an extra 25% damage for 6 seconds if I throw one of these bitches. Oh my god, man, this just raked. So I'm using the Dragon here for that health regen, but there's a few more. I'll show you guys what I got here for class mods. Not every class mod that I actually use is on my Amara right now, because I stuck a few things in the bank. Legendaries are just raining out of the sky right now, man, in Borderlands 3. And I like to keep, some spots open in case I find something I really, really like. And I'd rather it not go to lost loot, just in case it gets lost in the lost loot. So I stuck a few things in there. I have this one, the Tangled Stone. I get that Malawan weapon damage, the shield recharge delay as well, plus your magazine size. So It's a pretty good class mod. And I have here the Nimbus, the Tangled Nimbus, cryo resistance plus 22%. But I mostly use this, like the Hyperion weapon critical hit damage plus 51% is a main reason why I use it, especially with that redistributor. But the plus 61% weapon charge speed, I'd be using that when I use some Malamon weapons, and Malamon weapons are really good on Amara because she has so many elemental skills in her skill tree. I have here the Torturous Dragon, plus 21% weapon critical damage, plus 56% melee damage, and then you have that Vladov weapon accuracy as well. Pretty good class mod. And I'm using also the Tortuous Fitful Dragon, and this one has plus 35% assault rifle damage, better Jacob's weapon reload speed, and that plus 61% weapon charge speed. And we have the Phaserker, plus 21% weapon critical damage, plus 28% weapon damage, plus 35% SMG damage. This class mod goes in, man. I'll usually slap that on in Takedown and Malon, especially on Mayhem 4. I'm telling you right now, man. This class mod right here, if you're on Amara, man, you look for this class mod. This class mod goes ham, dude. So what do we got here for artifacts? I'm using this one right here, the splatter gun for the slide speed. It really helps you out in the raid as well. And then I also have this safeguard up here. I don't really use this, man. I think I picked it up just because of the corrosive damage and the area of effect damage. Plus you get that extra fight for your life duration, 50%. But I don't use it very much though. I usually use the slide speed one for that quick slide, so you can get the fuck out of there. Because when you're fighting Wotan in the raid, man, shit gets hairy pretty quick. I'll show you my other nades too real quick. The Singularity Firestorm, this is absolutely amazing, and I have this one anointed. You gain 50% shock bonus damage with weapons for 10 seconds. Damn good grenade. The Quasar, you already know what that is. Really good for taking out shields. Shock shields, that is. And the Whispering Ice, they actually, I feel like they nerfed this, but it's still a damn good grenade. I'll show you guys my other shields too real quick. I got the Resonant Black Ham. Pretty good shield. And this was anointed for me after Phase Grasp is, while Phase Grasp is active, Amara constantly triggers Novas that deal 6,796 damage, man. Goes absolutely beast mode. The Brawler Ward, this one's anointed as well, too. This is a really damn good shield, man. Gain 50% bonus radiation damage with weapons for 10 seconds. You get that plus 25% weapon damage while shield is depleted. Plus 300% melee damage while shield is depleted. That's going on my melee Amara when I eventually make that. I'm working on that right now. It takes a while to get there, man. Plus 2% max health while shields are active, and it doubles when it's depleted. We have the Fortified Recharge Burner. This is a pretty good shield as well, too. I mess around with that sometimes. And we have the Rectifier, man. This one's anointed as well. You get that gain 50% bonus radiation damage with weapons for 10 seconds. Really good shield, man. Definitely goes without saying. If you guys see this out on your playthroughs, man, you pick it up. You conduit. I'll show you guys my guns real quick and what we got going on over here. Come on now. It's like flying up, flying down. It doesn't know what it wants to do, man. You know what? We'll just go to an actual weapon because here it's bringing up everything. All right, so we have the Hellfire. Now, this is not a great SMG. I do love Dahl weapons. Dahl are my favorite. Dahl or Vladov. I pretty much like every manufacturer in this game, but I'd say probably Dahl is my favorite. The Hellfire is a cool gun, man, and it looks a lot different, but it was in the other Borderlands games as well too. And I did get a good one here when I went and farmed him for a little bit, so I held on to it. And the next 2 magazines will have 50% bonus radiation damage. Pretty good, man. Pretty effective. If you're on the right build, you can make use of this gun, man. The Searing Trained Hellfire. I also have the Nighthawken, probably the best SMG in the game. This thing slaps everything. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter if you're up against armor. It doesn't matter if you're up against shock shields. It doesn't matter. This thing destroys everything. Plus, I also get that 50% additional bonus incendiary damage for the next 2 magazines after my action skill ends. So that's very useful. The Ripper, I'm just hanging on to this one because I think the gun is really cool. And, you get that plus 40% melee damage. Not really a great gun because the fire rate is so quick and the magazine size is low. It could be good on Moe's though. I haven't tried it on Moe's, where Moe's is constantly regenerating ammo in that. And it could be good on flak as well too. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking for an anointed version. But I like the gun, man. I think it's dope. I think it looks great. You got blood pouring from it when you're holding it in your hands. It's just a really dope gun. The Crossroads. This has been one of my favorite SMGs for a while. Easily one of the best SMGs in the game. It does feel like they nerfed it, but it still puts in work here. I have the Defrauding Crossroads. This one's Corrosion. Now, this anointment kind of sucks, man. I don't really slide with this gun too much. So I am looking for a better Crossroads anointed that's corrosive, right? I would like to get all the elements in this gun, to be honest, man. So I'm still looking for the right anointment, but this gun goes in, baby. You want that gun. We have the Olridian. This is a SMG from the new DLC, Guns, Love, and Tentacles. This gun is absolutely amazing, man. As you guys see, I have it favorited there. This one ain't going away from me, man. I got this one anointed on action skill N. The next two mags will have 50% additional bonus shock damage. You got that plus 109% weapon damage, plus 10% critical hit damage. Then you have that accuracy as well too, plus 36%. And it switches element on reload. The shield reduces elemental damage by 20% as well. Because it is Hyperion, this gun goes in, man. Look at that damage, 1715. The bound, they bound the ones they knew of. They were more. I'm telling you, this gun right now is one of my go-tos, man. Straight up, this gun it really is one of my go-tos. If you see it in the DLC, grab it, hang on to it, thank me later. This gun goes ham, man. And I do not know if there's a dedicated loot source for this gun right now. I'm not sure if any boss drops it specifically, but it reigns in the DLC. Go play the DLC. Even one playthrough, you'll have it drop for you a few times, easily. We have the Jackhammer. I held on to this because it's got a good anointment. It is a solid gun, don't get me wrong. It definitely is a solid gun. You know, I'll still break it out sometimes. But this is a pretty good anointment, so I definitely held on to it. So on action skill end, you deal 125% more weapon damage to badass, named, and boss enemies for a short time. Can't go wrong with that. So we definitely hang on to that. The Flood, this is a pretty good pistol. Not one that I mess with too much, but it definitely has its uses, man. It's got some pretty good damage. Red text, take us, but this was anointed for me, so after phase grasping, weapon accuracy and handling are greatly increased. Definitely comes in handy. We have the Kibbs Worth. Now this gun, you only get this from Takedown at Malawan 2, and I believe you have to do it on a certain Mayhem. I believe it has to be at least on Mayhem modes, right? Mayhem, 1, 2, whatever. And I think you have to kill the brain, Wotan's brain, and that's where this drops from. I could be getting it mixed up with the redistributor, but I know you get it from beating Wotan in the raid. This one's anointed, deal 125% more weapon damage to badass named and boss enemies for a short time after your action skill is over. This gun goes in, man. You get that ×2 to your damage, plus 60% melee, plus 75% splash damage radius, and then you get that plus 20% weapon charge speed. Really damn good gun, man. I'm glad I got it. This one here, I don't really use this too much. It's okay. I don't know, man. It's just not, like, the charge time on it is kind of ass. But this one is anointed for my Amara. So when your phase grasp is active, weapon charge time is decreased by 71% and fire rate is increased by 12%. That's the main reason why I held on to it. So when I am on my Amara using my phase grasp, I can slap this on and I get that boosted charge time and fire rate. Again, though, it's, depending on your build too, right? You could really make this work if you wanted to, but in my opinion, there's just a lot better options out there. Again, I'm just hanging on to it because it's anointed for my Siren, and it's a good anointment. The Killur, this actually just dropped for me, and the reason why I held on to it was because it was anointed for my Siren. Deals 75% bonus radiation damage for a short time after my action skill ends. And you get that plus 20% weapon charge speed. I haven't really been using it much, so I can't tell you guys if it's putting in work since it came back to Borderlands 3, if they buffed it, whatever. It wasn't great when I was playing Borderlands 3 all the time before. So I can't really speak on it too much. Like I said, I just held on to it because of the anointment. We have the recursion, man. This gun is absolute beast mode. It's a Malawan shotgun. This one's not anointed though. But I'm absolutely in love with this gun. Really looking for an anointment version of it. And this one here, it says, see green text for description, and then the green text says see red text for description. Yo, that shit's hilarious. This gun, absolutely amazing. I have this one in shotgun, shock and incendiary. Look at the damage, man. 308 or 3805. I'm tripping, man. This gun goes absolute beast mode, man. Radiation is really good on this weapon. The Cutsman do not have anointment versions of this guns, but these guns are probably the best Malawan guns in the game and easily up there with the Nighthawk and that for best SMGs in this game. This gun does so much work. Even if you get elemental burns, like you get a corrosive one and it's not anointed, hang on to it, man. This gun is fucking beautiful. I love it. Oh my god, I can't say enough. I can't speak enough about how good the Cutsman is. Speaking of good weapons, man, this Insider, this is another DLC weapon as well. Malawan shotgun. This is kind of similar to the recursion. And they just go ham, man. This one's shock and radiation. It's not anointed, though. So I'm going to be looking for that. You can run, but you can't hide. You got that 1841 times 5 damage. And then you get the plus 210% splash damage radius. It absolutely goes in, people. If this drops for you, trust me. Pick it up. You won't be sorry. I got the lob here, the radiation lob as well. You know, like I said, they nerfed the lob. You know, the charge time is not too bad on this one. So it depends, right? I haven't used it since the nerf, so we'll see what it is. The flacker, I'm just hanging on to this one. I'm not really a flacker guy. I mean, I understand why people use it after the nerf, though. I used to use it a lot before the nerf. After the nerf, I don't really use it too much. But this one right here is anointed on action skill end. Splash damage is increased by 125% for a short time. Plus, you also get the base 210% splash damage radius, right? So, if you're using your action skill a lot, this gun will do work, right? It does pretty good damage. It's just the one shot, you know what I mean? But I got a pretty good anointment with this one, so I hung on to it. And the Infinity. This gun is putting in work, man. For a gun that never runs out of ammo, I can't believe how good it's hitting, man. It's hit even on like Mayhem 2 and that. This gun is slapping, man. If you see the Infinity, this was a pistol also from Borderlands 2. Pick it up, man. You never have to worry about ammo with this gun. And I got this one anointed. Consecutive hits increase weapon damage by 1% per hit until you miss. This gun is amazing, man. With that anointment as well too, as long as you're constantly hitting your shots, you ain't got no worry, man. This Infinity does work. I got a shock one, I think, on my Zane. I've been using that. And I got the sickle. This was anointed for my phase grasping. So you get weapon accuracy and handling. They're greatly increased while you're phase grasping. It's a good gun, right? It's an auto rifle, but it's actually a shotgun though. Right, see that times 10 damage? It does a lot of good damage. The problem is you only get 13 in the mag. It consumes 2 ammo per shot, right? So you only get 6-7 shots with it before you have to reload. But it does do work, man. And I think it looks badass, so I hung on to it. There's all my weapons for my Amara build right now, man. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. There's still a lot of weapons that I'm trying to get. I'm trying to find time for it, but right now I'm bouncing back and forth between Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, Resident Evil 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World War II, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3. I'm bouncing between all these games, plus Destiny 2 and Borderlands 3, two of my top tier games. Fucking love these games, man. I love Borderlands, dude. I really do. So I'm going to just show you guys the weapons that I have equipped. I'll just show you guys me ripping a few enemies up in Mayhem 2. And if you guys have an Amara, man, and you're up to even like level 50, you got all them skill points or level 57, I'm telling you, man, try this build out. And you will not regret it. Try the build out. Alright, guys, let's get into the gameplay. Where they at? Alright, check. Look at the serial killer, man. Look at the serial killer. Like, I know we're not on Mayhem 4. He's got a shock shield. Alright, let's see how I was taking on that shield pretty good? But I'm gonna take this dude out. Look at the serial killer on this anointed, man. level 58 Mayhem 2 Anointed. He's got nothing. He's got nothing. Let's go. Let's phase lock him up. For that extra damage. Alright, just teleported behind me. Look at the Seeryul Killur. I don't even have any stacks on this one yet. Look at that. I don't even have any stacks, bro. I got one stack right now. I should probably kill something so I keep it going, right? Alright, he just mutated. And look at this, man. Look at that. Look at that. He don't have a chance, man. Look at this. Shock shield and armor. The Seeryul Killur just destroys all. Let me switch to this for a second. This thing goes in, man. Explosive, and I'm using my flash, and I'm just tearing up. The Anarchy, you guys already know what that is. Let's try the lob out. Okay, the lob is still doing work, man. The lob is still doing work.
Wait for crunching!
Alright, so he's flashed. Let's try the lob on him. Definitely noticeable nerf, but it is what it is. It's still doing work, though. I mean, you know. Let's take this one out. Drop some purples. Let's check the purple real quick. Alright. We'll sell those. Alright, so shock shield. I got no stacks. Mayhem 2. Get on. Like straight up, just sit on there. But I do have a stack on this one still. This one's got shock shield on. I missed a few shots though. Take him out with the quickness, man. Just sit down, baby. The Seeryul Killur is no joke. I'm telling you guys right now. For anybody who doesn't like Children of the Vault weapons, I'm with you. I've been that guy that did not like Children of the Vault weapons. I'm telling you right now, the Seeryul Killur, absolutely amazing. And then this gun right here, the Anarchy, man, this just goes in. As you can see, I got one stack so far. You can see that effect on the gun. And now we're just going to start doing crazy damage. Look at this. Getting those kills, so we're getting stacks for every kill as well. Alright, let's lock this guy up. Look at this. Your shock. This dude have burn on it, man. His shock shield's got nothing. Where's this dude at? And you will not lose. It's not like the Seeryul Killur where if you're not getting kills, you lose your stack of Anarchy. That's the only one kind of downfall to the Seeryul Killur. The Anarchy, as long as you don't like swap weapons or die, you keep your stats. You keep the extra damage. Like, you'll always have it, just as long as you don't run out of ammo or switch your weapon. Look at how easily I tore through that anointed guy. Y'all know how tough it is to take down anointed dude sometimes. Look at that. Look at the range, man. One shot of that dude with the quickness. Easy. Easy peasy. Look at this, man. I mean, like I said, I know it's Mayhem 2. Look at the Anarchy, man. Look at the Anarchy. They dropped a legendary. And they're up there. It's got good range, man. It does good damage. It's supposed to give you a hit to your accuracy for each stack you got. But you honestly, you don't feel it. Like, look, I'm sniping these dudes right now with a shotgun. Look at that. It's absolutely amazing. I'm telling you guys right now. This gun... Guns, Love, and Tentacles, this and the Seeryul Killur. You want these guns in your life. Look at that, man. Just ripping these dudes. I don't even think I'm stack 10 yet. They dropped me the Nemesis. Oh, we'll take that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your Amara build down in the comment section. Thanks for watching.